What is going on, mi gente? Welcome back to Tech Based Gaming. This is your boy Chino, and in today's video, we're gonna be playing some Road to the Show, but also we're gonna be discussing my MLB playoff predictions and how I think it's about to unfold. Now, I think I did some predictions in one of my very first videos of MLB The Show, but I could be wrong. So I'm excited now that we have the full view of the playoffs. We have the official teams that are in it and everything. I kind of just want to give you guys my predictions, and I'm interested to see your predictions. How do you guys think the playoffs are gonna pan out? Who do you think is gonna eventually win the World Series? I'll be interested to hear that. So please leave it down in the comments below. But remember, keep it positive. So now I kind of waited on this video because one, I was enjoying the hell out of the wild card series, and I just wanted to see what teams would be officially fighting for, the championship series and then the World Series. And so I'm pretty excited, man. The ALDS looks really good on both sides. The NLDS, both matchups are gonna be freaking insane and hectic, and I can't wait, man. I can't wait. Oh my god. But we're gonna dive into that in a second. So now, mi gente, sit back, relax, enjoy the video, and let's just dive into it. And real quick, just a quick heads up, I have simulated some seasons. I think I simulated 3 seasons, and that's just because that I'm really trying to get traded off of Oakland because this team just never seems to compete. They never do anything. So I can't wait, okay? And I'm sorry if you hear any noise in the background. Again, my neighbors are still in the process of moving. Jesus H. Christ. And they have been making so much noise. So much noise. So I'm sorry if you hear any noise in the background. And you might hear some music because, my girl is jamming in the back. And when she jams, she listens to music on blast. So let's dive into it. We're playing against the Yankees in the Bronx, ironically, playing in the Bronx. So let's quickly go through the wild card series, have a recap, and I'll tell you my thoughts on each wild card series, and I'll tell you which one was the best in my opinion and which one was the worst. So I'm going to go in order of the worst series to the best series, okay? So for me, oh my god, give me a second, mi gente. I hear some drilling going on, so hold on. Okay, they seem to have stopped. Um, so for me, the most boring series in the wild card series was Kansas City and Baltimore. And this is no disrespect to Kansas City, but honestly, I expected a lot more from Baltimore. I mean, Baltimore fans, I'm sorry, but you guys were so hyped up coming into this season, so hyped up. And I know, as a Yankee fan, I know Yankee fans are extremely toxic. Excuse me. And I know they can talk a lot of crap. But Baltimore, man, they were talking trash like nothing the whole season. They went out and traded for Corbin Burns. Uh, what the heck was that? I might need to lower that. Alright, mi gente. So I lowered the sound effects, so maybe those won't be as loud next time. But either way, uh, back to what I was talking about. The Kansas City Royals and the Baltimore Orioles was the worst series, to be honest, because I expected a lot more from Baltimore. They literally had all the weapons in place. They had the pitching pieces. Their bullpen was a little questionable, but to be honest, for those 2 games that they played, they did not seem to be very competitive. I don't know what happened to them. Um, so yeah, Kansas City has won that wild card series, as we all know, and they are now facing the New York Yankees, and I am excited. And by the way, I should mention that at the time of this recording, I should say, the Detroit Tigers and the Cleveland Indians are currently playing. Um, and the Indians in the first inning, Lane Thomas with a huge 3-run homer to give Cleveland a 5-0 lead. Incredible, man. That was an amazing home run. In the playoffs, don't get me wrong, home runs are hit all the time. But there's just something special about playoff home runs, man. They just, the impact that they have is just so much more. You know what I'm saying? And the emotions are obviously heightened because it's the playoffs. It's win or go home. So, Lane Thomas, man, huge, huge home run. Oh my God, that was incredible. Wow. So, obviously, from that, the Detroit Tigers swept the Houston Astros, dethroning the Astros from an amazing run, which was 7 straight ALCSs. However, in my opinion, that does not constitute a dynasty title. Because to be honest, they made it to the World Series a bunch of times and they've only won 2, which granted that is more than what the Yankees have won in freaking almost 20 years at this point. And so, uh, one obviously cheating scandal, tainted title. Um, but then the second one, is legitimate as all hell. No arguments here. But to only win 2 titles in the amount of years that Houston was dominant for, I'm sorry, that's not a dynasty to me. Like, if it's a dynasty, it needs to be like, the early 2000s Yankees, the 90s Yankees, the New England Patriots when they were on a tear, the Kansas City Chiefs right now. Those are dynasties, okay? Those are legitimate dynasties. Um, so yeah, they dethroned the Houston Astros. They said, "Get the hell out of here." And so yeah, like it was such an incredible series, and man, it was so crazy because uh, there was, I think it was game 2. Houston Astros came out swinging, and it looked like Houston found their mojo, man. It looked like they had the momentum, but then Detroit, man, they just came and they just shitted all over the Houston Astros parade, and it was like, goddamn, goddamn. It was it was a very good series, man. And Houston was competitive, man. I got nothing but but praise for Houston. They tried, they were competitive, you know. But I think their time has come. They really didn't have a great season, to what I was expecting. They had an okay season. I think they won their division. Um, but it definitely wasn't the season you expect from the Houston Astros. Um, so that's just my opinion. So Detroit swept them to move on to face the Cleveland Guardians, and like I said, Game 1 is happening right now, and as I record this video. Let me get a quick scoring update just to make sure. So feel free to enjoy this picture of Bryson Stott on the New York Yankees. Okay. Um, as a Yankee fan, I wouldn't want Stott, but that's okay. But as a Yankee fan, I'm upset that in the year 2028, Gleyber Torres is still on the team. And that's again because I just simulated some seasons. Um, so yes, they're facing the Cleveland Guardians. The score is still 5-0 for Cleveland, and J-Ram is currently up on the bottom of the second. Runners on first and second, no outs. Ooh man, J-Ram is so good. Jose Ramirez is one of the better players in baseball, and I always feel like he gets slept on. Always. He is so underrated, man. He's so freaking good. And unfortunately, he wasn't even able to get his 40-40 season. He only needed 1 home run. Oh man. So then the next series, now shifting to the NL, the National League, we had the San Diego Padres versus the Atlanta Braves. To be honest, that series was also kind of whack. Not because they were bad or anything like that, but just because Atlanta, to be honest, it's almost like as soon as they found out that Chris Sale was injured and wouldn't be starting, it was almost like they threw in the towel. That's what it felt like. And San Diego, they smelled blood in the water, and they, what do they usually say? They like they put the whatever, like they pretty much stepped on the gas and never let go. Um, so yeah, but the best. Okay, so they beat the Braves in the wild card. They're gonna be facing the Los Angeles Dodgers, and the Dodgers have home field advantage throughout the playoffs because they had the best record in the season in the MLB. Um, so San Diego and the Dodgers, man, that is gonna be a bloodbath. Oh my God, the Padres are injured, the Dodgers are injured, and they're missing some key pieces. You know what I mean? And but the Dodgers lineup is crazy. San Diego's lineup is crazy. They still have the pitching depth. They are missing some high name starters, but they still have. It's gonna be a fun matchup, man. It's gonna be fun, and it's gonna be crazy. And I expect no more. I expect no less than like 5 fights to break out. Um, during the game. um, and it's gonna be a good time, man. San Diego and LA is gonna be a good time. So the best wild card series for me was by far and away the Mets and the Milwaukee Brewers. Oh my God, that was such a fun series. It went all 3 games, and each game was competitive, tense playoff baseball, and I loved it. And eventually, the Mets did win the series, and they will now be facing the Philadelphia Phillies. And I think that's gonna be again another fantastic series in the NL. Like, oh my God, Phillies and the Mets. I mean, you really couldn't script it any better. You really couldn't script it any better, man. Like, oh my God, that's gonna be such a good series. And the Phillies have a lot of players I like. The Mets have players I like. Like they, oh my God, it's just what the hell? What are they gonna do? Um, so our official division series matchups will be in the AL. We have the Detroit Tigers versus the Cleveland Guardians. Matchup number 2 will be the New York Yankees, or I should say, the Kansas City Royals versus the New York Yankees. And I think that's gonna be a fun series to watch. To be honest, I have a fear, not really a fear. I really shouldn't say fear, but I'm a little nervous that the Royals are gonna give the Yankees a lot of trouble. They're a very pesky baseball team, and when I say pesky, I don't mean annoying, like in a bad way. I mean it in a way that the Kansas City Royals do a lot of little things well, and they do a lot of good things that the Yankees don't do well. Okay, like the Royals, they are extremely good at stealing bases. They're extremely good at getting base hits and doubles, and their defense is amazing. Okay, the Yankees to me are just too home run or bust. Um, and don't get me wrong, you know Soto can hit the ball all over the field. Judge can hit the ball pretty good all over the field, obviously. Um, but yeah, other than that, everyone else in the lineup is very like I'm gonna focus on hitting a home run, and that's really it. Like I don't have faith in the rest of the lineup, to be honest. I feel like they're gonna put too much pressure on themselves, and the team is only gonna go as far as Soto and Judge will take them. And our pitching has too many question marks. Aside from Garrett Cole and Rodon, I really don't know how the Yankees are gonna get the rest of those innings. But I do think that eventually, after a very long series, I think the Yankees will advance to the American League Championship Series, where I think they will be facing the Cleveland Guardians. I think Detroit and Cleveland are very similar teams. and they do a lot of the same things. Um, like they play similar baseball styles, and talent wise, they're really very, very close. Very, very close. So I think that's going to be a very fun series to watch, but I do think that eventually um, the Guardians will advance. Now, on to the National League. I do think that I really don't know how to freaking predict those series, man. That those two series can really go either way in the National League. But matchup number one, we got the Mets versus the Philadelphia Phillies. Ah, man, I just I think the Phillies are gonna win. I think they're gonna win. But I think if they're gonna win the series, I think it's gonna be the Phillies in five. That's what I think. I think if the Mets are gonna win, they're gonna win in four. But I do think that the Phillies will win in 5 games to move on to the NLCS. But that is gonna be such a crazy series. Both teams are very similar in talent. However, on paper, the Phillies are the better team in my book. Um, and I'm not gonna do like position by position breakdowns because those that would just take forever. Um, but talent wise, they are very similar. So I do think that the Phillies will do have the slight edge. So I do think they will advance on to the NLCS. Now, Padres and Dodgers. This series is gonna be very interesting. All right, because both teams are very good. They're excellent teams. Um, to me, obviously, you know, the Dodgers are going to be the favorite no matter who they face. Uh, and that's, I get why, but I'm also like, you can't count out other baseball teams. You know what I'm saying? In the playoffs, anything can happen. Literally anything can happen. Okay. Um, so in the playoffs, I never count out any team. I never do. Because whenever I do that, they tend to bite me in the ass. But I mean, the Dodgers, they got Otani, they got Mookie Betts, they got Freddie Freeman. That lineup is pretty deep. The Padres also have a very good lineup though, like with Kim, Arez, um, with Kim, Araiz, Tatis Jr., Machado. I mean, you can't count out San Diego, man. Um, and to be honest, the Dodgers have this thing of always getting bounced in the playoffs. You know, aside from their Mickey Mouse ring. Uh, so I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go for the upset here, and I think that the Padres will beat the Dodgers to advance to the NLCS, where we will get Phillies and a Padres NLCS. No, 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 no! What are you doing? So yeah, so I think it's gonna be Phillies, Padres in the NLCS, and then in the ALCS, I got it Cleveland and the Yankees, where I have the Yankees beating Cleveland in 6 games. I think it would take 6 games for the Yankees to beat Cleveland. To be honest, I think no matter who they face, if they make it to the ALCS, I think whether the Yankees face Detroit or Cleveland, I don't think it's going to be a short series. I think it's still going to take the Yankees roughly 6 games, maybe even 7 to beat those teams. Um, because for some reason, okay, for some reason the Yankees have always tended to play down their opponents. So they see like, oh, it's the Royals. Oh, it's this team, and they tend to feel like they can, take it easy. But if I'm being honest here, okay, and I know I might get some hate in the comments, and that's okay. Uh, but at least keep it positive. If it's way too negative, I'm gonna delete that shit. I'm just saying. But as a Yankee fan, the path to the World Series has never been clearer. It has never been better than what it is now. Okay? Kansas City and Detroit have done you huge, huge favors by getting rid of Baltimore, who owned your ass in the regular season. And I will admit that, okay? Baltimore owned the Yankees throughout the regular season. They absolutely dominated the Yankees. And then the Detroit Tigers defeated Houston for you. Houston has eliminated you every freaking time they have faced you in the playoffs. Every time Houston has faced you in the playoffs, they eliminated you. Okay? Every time we faced Cleveland in the playoffs so far in recent history, the Yankees have tended to beat them. Okay? You dominated the Royals in the regular season. I believe the record was 5-2 against the Royals. They feasted on AL Central. Okay? They really did. Um, so they really have no excuse to not at least make it to the World Series. You cannot end the season without a World Series appearance. You just can't. If you fail, if the Yankees fail in either the ALDS or the ALCS, it's a failure. Okay, it's a failure. You need to get to the World Series. You need to get to the World Series because this road to the World Series has been given to you and blessed to you by the baseball gods. Okay? You don't have to face any powerhouses that have dominated you. Okay? Like but for me, the road is the road is almost too simple that I feel like the Yankees will find a way to trip up and lose. But I have faith and I do think the Yankees will win and make it to the World Series. Now on the NL side, I have it Phillies versus Padres. I think it's gonna be Phillies. I think it's gonna be the Phillies. In seven. I really do. I think that would be a bloodbath of a series, and I think both teams are very good. I think they match up very well, to be honest. Um, so I think that the Phillies would be able to win, and it would be a rematch of the 2009 World Series, Yankees and Phillies. Oh my goodness. Whew. Oh my goodness, that would be so fantastic to see Phillies and Yankees in the playoffs again because neither of them have won the World Series since '08 and '09. '08 was the Phillies, '09 was the Yankees, and that should have been the Phillies back-to-back year, but the Yankees came in and said, "Not today, not today." Um, excuse me while I take a sip of coffee. Uh, but yeah, I do think that the Phillies and Yankees World Series would be incredible. You know what I'm saying? And I think the Yankees would be a nice matchup for anybody that comes out of the NL, to be honest, right? Check it this way. If it's Yankees, Phillies, it's a rematch of the '09 World Series. If it's Yankees Padres, you have Juan Soto facing off against his old team. And then you got Tatis, you got Aaron Judge, you got Stanton, you got Machado. It's just a shit ton of name power. Okay? If it's New York, if it's the Yankees versus the Mets. And now you talking, because now we got the Subway Series. Okay? The Subway Series for a World Series has not happened in eons. It has not happened in so long. I To be honest, I think I was a child, or maybe I wasn't even thought of. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't even remember the last time it was a Subway Series for the World Series. Okay, but that would be freaking amazing. Yankees, Mets, ooh, baby, that would be crazy. And then, of course, there's the dream matchup that I'm pretty sure MLB wants, and it's the Yankees versus the mother freaking Dodgers. Oh my God, that is if you're the MLB, that's the series you really want. Okay, because that is two super like to be honest. I think if you're the MLB, right? If you had a script, I think you would want it to be either Phillies Yankees or Dodgers Yankees, and I still think you would want it to be Dodgers Yankees in a World Series because not only do you get Shohei Otani versus Juan Soto, Mookie Betts, Aaron Judge, Freddie Freeman, Giancarlo Stanton, Yoshinobu Yamamoto versus Garrett Cole. Like, I made that, bruh. Like, it's just that would be such an amazing series. And ironically, damn, I ran myself into it. I got too excited. I got too excited thinking about the matchups. Okay, You know, that would be one hell of a freaking World Series. And it would make the MLB so much money because now not only would you be getting money from, you know, the countries that already watch baseball, now you would also be getting severe interest in the World Series because now would be Shohei Otani and, you know, like worldwide fans that love Otani, especially after Japan won the WBC. Okay, like that is a clear and easy money maker. The MLB would be snorting cash like there's no tomorrow. Okay, legitimately be snorting money. Like, so to me, there's a lot of good matchups, man. There's a lot of good matchups, and I just hope the Yankees take advantage of this situation and make it to the World Series, man. That's all I can hope for as a Yankee fan. But either way, if the Yankees don't make it to the World Series, I will still be faithfully watching the MLB playoffs because at the end of the day, I'm a baseball fanatic and I just love the game of baseball. To be honest, I just I just love the game of baseball and I would just watch it no matter what. Like when the Yankees got eliminated, when the Yankees didn't make the playoffs last year, I firmly believed I wasn't gonna watch the playoffs, and then I was invested in every second of the playoffs. Last season's playoffs were so much fun. It was so good. Um, so I can't wait, man. I love the playoffs. It's nothing but chaos and just up and down moments. Like the game can break your heart, but man, it provides you with some of the highest of ups, man. Like it's baseball's incredible. I love baseball so much. Oh my god, it's so good. Makes me want to cry just talking about it, man. All right, there we go. But yeah, what do you guys? What are your predictions? Who do you think is gonna win the World Series? Did your favorite team make the playoffs? Did your favorite? Did your flavor player? Did your favorite player make it to the playoffs? I'll be curious to know. Leave it down in the comments below. And what are you guys more excited to see from the playoffs? Like, are you ready to see the underdog win the World Series? Do you want to see the superpowers, the super teams win? Like, I'm curious to know what your thoughts are. For me, I would like for the Yankees to win. But if for any reason they don't make it, what the hell just happened? What? What the heck? But if for any reason the Yankees don't make it to the playoffs, the World Series, I do think that an NL team would win it. And I would probably say that it would most likely be the Phillies. I think the Phillies or Dodgers. Um, the Mets have a really good chance, to be honest, to win it all. But I'm a little concerned about the health of the Mets. Lindor's not 100% and stuff like that. And, he's a big piece of their offense. If he gets hurt, ooh, man, then the Mets would be severely different. Severely. Um, I don't know, man. That's the thing about baseball. Baseball in the playoffs, you can't predict. You know what I mean? You just can't. Like, my bracket busted a long time ago, and that's because, uh, Baltimore decided to do nothing, and just kind of, you know, not be competitive. Um, because for me, I did have Detroit beating Houston, and that's just because I love an underdog story. Like I love when teams get like upset. So yeah, like the Tigers beating Houston. Why the hell wouldn't I put that on my bracket? Especially being a Yankee fan, right? Like I want Houston gone. Gone. Oh wow, Luis Robert Jr. is on the Blue Jays, huh? That's interesting. Uh oh. Is this the second one we've got on one of these? I think so. Da, 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 da. Damn, that was a good throw. The score is still 5-0 on the Tigers Guardians game. And the I think the Phillies game is on soon too. Oh, damn. Perfect. I don't know if I should have stretched it to 2, but it's okay. It's okay. But yeah, man, I'm excited, man. Playoff baseball is in full swing, and it's a beautiful goddamn thing. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Oh man. Pero mi gente, I'm gonna call the video there. It's just a quick video. I just really wanted to upload my thoughts and predictions for the MLB playoffs, and hopefully I'll get it up before the end of all the game ones tonight. Because I think tonight's a full slate of baseball. I think we got all 4 series starting today. With the Dodgers and Padres being the latest game, obviously. Um, so yes, mi gente, if you did like this video, please feel free to leave a like down below, comment down below with your predictions on the MLB playoffs. But remember to keep it up with the good vibes. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed. Share my video if you would like to share. Either way, I appreciate all and any support you guys provide me. Thank you guys for just being such wonderful supporters. Honestly, you guys are incredible. So as I always say, mi gente, let the stress go, let the good vibes flow. Go Yankees! This is your boy Chino signing out. Peace.